Hey y'all, this is Elle Thick Madame. I really hope that y'all can hear me. Y'all, I be going through nose peeling, y'all. My skin does not realize that it's not wintertime anymore because my ear and my nose usually peel like only in the wintertime. But this year has been very, very much so different. Anyway, y'all, I know I'm late on a lot of stuff. I'm behind. Y'all would not believe the stuff I've been facing. Just a lot been going on. So I've not been able to be on the ball because I have been making strides to really do what I said I was going to do, and that's be consistent. But anyway, y'all, so this is going to be the review on, y'all, I was about to say Greenleaf. I'm ready for it to come back on. I think that's why I said that. But yeah, this is going to be the review on Queen Sugar. Y'all, I know I didn't do the one from last week, so I'm gonna give a quick synopsis of sorts on that. But yeah, so last week all the stuff has been going on with Nova, her book. Everybody has been given a copy of the book. A lot of stuff has been going on, y'all. I mean, when I say y'all, a lot of stuff, a lot, y'all. I was so drained when I saw that last episode. I was just like, Lord, if that was in my family, I don't know how, y'all, I don't know. We might get to fighting or something, I don't know. Because some people, they just do the most. And it's on extremes way worse than what Nova is. I understand what Nova's trying to do, but it's too much. So anyway, like I was trying to say, the second episode that came on the week before this one, or whatever, last week, I guess I'll do person by person so it'll be easier for me to just remember. So Nova, everything is going so fast. The book is already on the way to being on the bestsellers list, and people are really excited for it to come out. Everybody is excited about it except her, because reality has set in that your family does not even know that you put them in the book, and to what degree. Like, when I say she's telling it all, she's telling it all. And I don't even know if she's really even put anything in there about herself. I kind of doubt it, especially given a lot of her history. Like, you know, her doing being a drug dealer of sorts or whatever. Because that's essentially the way that people would view her, as a low-level drug dealer. Want to be woke or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like they would read her and tear her a new one if they really knew like all of the ins and outs of Nova. But I don't feel like she put nothing in that book about her like that. So okay, I'm gonna go person by person. So Charlie, the information that's in the book about her is about how she paid the woman off who her now ex-husband was cheating with and all that stuff, to try to make stuff go away. Charlie has just made it a habit of, okay, let me pay people so that things can disappear, instead of facing it head on and just being like, look, I mean, I know what it is, and if I were her, I mean, I get it, I understand her husband had all that money, but she could have spent that money on something else. She could have gave me the money, and I would have spent the remaining balance of my graduate student loan on that, and the rest I'll buy me a new car or two. And look, all that money that should be put into these people, and some of these situations, I'm just like, girl, you could have gave that to me, and I would have invested it, and I would have actually let you see how the money was going to work for real, instead of you just dumping it into somebody's lap, because it's one of the many people that your ex has been screwing. So it's like, girl, stop. So that's in the book. A lot of people, well, really nobody knows that that's what has happened. And you know, because of what her title was before she, you know, was doing all this stuff dealing with the sugar mill business and all that stuff with milling, she was the type of person that can spin stories or whatever, and she was good at what she did. So people are inclined to believe every single word that she throws out there. So yeah, you know, she kind of made it seem like, yeah, I was hurt by what my husband did to me and whatever. And it's like, Davis did the most, and I would just be like, I'm done, whatever. Like I said, I would not sit up there and pour money into some random heifer. Moving on. Ralph Angel, she put in the book about how Blue is not his biological son, and the fact that he was incarcerated and all his struggles and all the other stuff. And it's like, girl, it's already bad enough how Ralph Angel himself was battling how he felt when he found out that that wasn't his biological child, because that was the reason why he decided to really go straight and be legit and do what he needed to do so he wouldn't get in trouble anymore. He felt like he had something out there, you know, to make. Blue was just the child. He was the miracle that allowed him to straighten up and fly right, as we call it and say where I'm from. And I felt like that was so amazing, y'all. Last season when it came out, I was like, they hyping it up. That's gonna be his child. That's gonna be his child. Y'all lies. Y'all, that episode about took me out. I was so done when we found out that wasn't his child. So anyway, that's in the book about him. Little does he know, there's stuff in the book about his ex-fiance, Darla. Y'all know, if you've seen the show, that her history is very, very sketchy because she was into drugs really heavy. She had a situation happen where she had been raped, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all can y'all let me know down in the comment section if I'm saying any of this right. If I'm not mistaken, she was really, really bad on drugs, and one day she was so bad off, and she had been, I don't remember if she got raped or whatever, but she was bad off. Hollywood, which is a man who is now married to Nova's aunt, her Aunt Vi, he found her in a really, really bad state, picked her up and took her and, you know, got her cleaned up and all. Like, it was really, 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 really terrible, y'all. But anyway, y'all let me know down in the comment section the more of the specifics, but it was a lot. Like, it's so bad to the point of where just anybody bringing it up, whether it's the people who were in the situation, who saw it for what it was with their own two eyes, or people who heard the story secondhand from the people who actually went through it, it's just so devastating. And it's like reliving it over and over again whenever it's brought up, y'all, because every time they bring it up, I get in my feelings like I was there. So, y'all, it's a lot. And that's what killing me. I get into that when I get into the review for this, because I got to read Ralph Angel just a little bit about what happened in this last episode. Anyway, so Ralph Angel, Aunt Vi, I said Vi. Yeah, Violet. Nova's Aunt Violet. They have her, Nova has her in the book, and she's talking about her situation with her ex. We've heard about her ex since first season. Apparently, it was a very, very abusive relationship. Verbally, I know for sure. I think he might have been physically abusive to her as well, but definitely verbal. And it was to the point where I'll say that later on too, because I ain't gonna forget that. But yeah, the dude disappeared after some things transpired. You know, well, it ain't no secret. I'll just bring it up again when I talk about it later. But anyway, it got to a point where her now deceased brother set it off and had to beat the dude down, because it's like, what you're not finna do is treat my sister this way. Beat him down so bad that he was gone. So, you know, she is now done with him. To my knowledge, she really is divorced from him, so I don't understand. Well, I didn't understand at first when this last episode was unfolding why some things happened. But anyway, talking about her triumphs, and the fact that I think that she actually mentions the fact that she has lupus in it, like a lot of her struggles. And it's just like, girl, you doing the most. And she has stuff in there about her father, which I'm pretty sure it entails Charlie, which, you know, Charlie is the only one who has a different mother. Her mother is white. Not that it matters. I'm just saying, for anybody who doesn't remember or they don't know, she is kind of considered to be the outside child and all that stuff. And Nova and Charlie weren't on the greatest of terms until recently. But yeah, a lot of that's going out of the window because of this season. But yeah, y'all, it's just a lot of stuff that's being unfolded, a lot of things that are happening. And, you know, she gave everybody copies of it, and it's just to the point where it's like, look, it's too much, girl. It's too much. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. So yeah, let me go ahead and get into what happened on this last episode. Okay, y'all, I don't know what happened to my notes, but that's okay. I'm gonna do like I did just a second ago, but it'll just be a little bit more in depth and detailed. But anyway, so I'm gonna do like I did last time, just go person by person. So basically, everyone has read either the part that has something to do directly with them or the entire book. So Charlie read the whole book, and she's in her feelings because she's afraid that her son is gonna read what is inside and going to think of her as a monster because she's paid this person off. So it's like, okay, you was really doing the most, and I get it. And it's like her son is really already growing up really quickly as it is. Y'all, he done came back in from Paris. She sent him away to Paris for the summer. And, you know, it was supposed to be like he's under the impression that it's just a regular, like, oh, this is my vacation. I'm out of school. I'm not going to be around here in the country in Louisiana for the summer. And I'm just going to be cultured. I'm going to go out here and learn some things or whatever. This boy came back and had locks. I ain't even going to lie, I'm here for it. Because his hair... Okay, I know I'm wrong. Leave me. Don't read me. Don't read me too bad. But his hair before, I was just like, okay. A fade is fine. High top fade is fine. All that stuff is fine. But it's just, I don't know. I was just not all the way here for it. I don't know if it's because his head is big, his forehead big or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if that's his hair or if they put a wig on him or whatever. But I'm here for them locks. Them locks is everything. Whoever did that, good job. Whoever did that. He came back with locks. His mama didn't know nothing about this. Apparently, he ain't been taking no pictures and sending them to her at all during the summertime for her to know what her child looked like, see the sights and all this other stuff. I'm pretty sure she's been places before, so the sights wouldn't have really incited anything in her to be like, oh my gosh, maybe I should visit her. And Davis probably went before us or whatever. But y'all, boy came back with locks. I'm here for it, though. I am here for it. And I don't know what it is. I have always been here for locks that like do how his are doing. It's kind of like Killmonger a little bit and Black Panther, but like shorter. But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm all the way here for it, y'all. So anyway, of course, Charlie had something to say about it. She was like, well, I wish I would have had a heads up. And so he was like, why? So you could tell me no? Basically, y'all, because I'm like, you know good and well you was not going to be here for it. And so it's like when a situation seems like it's going to pop off, he has something to say that'll kind of calm the situation. And I'm kind of glad because y'all know how Charlie can get. So he said, you know, I thought you would appreciate this because you embraced your natural hair, which she did. I live for, because I was like, why she don't do this more often? Her hair be everything. And it's full. Like, girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit down. So, you know, whatever. Y'all, more about Charlie. She got in her feelings because every time you look up, she's trying to find every angle that can be in the favor of herself and her brother. And, you know, everybody else who the book will potentially hurt when the contents are put out there into the world. By, you know, she keeps calling that woman, y'all, I don't know why her name escapes me at the moment, but the woman who she kept getting information from before, and, you know, trying to get her to dig up some stuff that can help her. And she's trying to find out random information. One of the things she's trying to find out is what's going on with, you know, her not being able to be at these meetings when it concerns the meal. She and Jacob, y'all about to say Doldry. I know I'm wrong. Jacob, why can't I think of his name? I'll think of the lady. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The guy, he's a part of that Landry. Y'all, I couldn't even think of his name at first. Jacob Landry. She has the same amount of shares that he does. And so he's not supposed to be able to sit in on meetings just like she's not supposed to be able to, but he's been doing it. And so it's gotten to the point where she's frustrated and she's trying to reach his mother. And she's out of town, and every time you look up, she's getting a message. And so she was like, whoever she called this time, she was like, well, when your mother gets in, you need to let her know. I need to talk to her as soon as possible because I need to understand why Jacob has the same amount of shares as me and he get to sit in on these meetings. Y'all, later on in the episode, the mama still ain't nowhere to be found. So she done rolled all the way up to them and was like, Jacob, what is this? And rolled up, and I was like, Lord have mercy, ma'am. So they cleared the room. And so, like, she's still reading about how she has the same amount of shares as him, and it's not cool. So he ends up texting her while she's in the room with him. And so she looked like, what is my phone going off for? And it's a message from him. And he's saying that he can't explain in there. And you can look off to the side and see one of the relatives or somebody that's working for them that's right there, like in the next room, like pacing back and forth, trying to eavesdrop. So he was like, I'll talk, I can't explain it here. We meet me out back. So she ended up meeting him outside out back. And so he basically said that they've changed the bylaws to where family members can attend and all this other stuff. And one of his brothers or uncles or somebody gave up part of their share, combined shares with him. So he actually does have a bigger share in all, in all actuality, So, despite the fact that they changed the bylaws, he does have a bigger share and all this other stuff. So he can sit in on the meetings and all this stuff. So he is trying to say to her, like, look, why can't you just sit back and just let things work how they're going to work? Because he's still trying to make it seem as though he's going to make things right and just sit back and let him handle it or whatever, despite those people being his family members. And, she was just like, because you know how the Landrys are. Y'all, anyway, the rest of what happened as far as Charlie is concerned is that a situation happened, and the guy who she's dating, he does it's like a doctor or something like that. And Ralph Angel actually had one of his workers to get really, really sick. And Ralph Angel called her and was like, look, one of my workers got sick. I don't know what to do. I ain't got it like that. And he definitely ain't got it like that. Is there something you can do for me? And so she thought about it, and she was like, I think I can help you. Let me call you back. So I figured as soon as she said that she was going to call him, and she did. And so all in all, the person is doing okay now. They'll be all right. And she was talking to him. They met up and they were talking after the fact. And she asked him, like, what is something that I can do, or that can be, well, what is something that you need? Yeah, she said it like as a blanket statement or whatever. She was like, what is something that can be done to help you do the things that you do? Because he's trying to do something where people who are like the Mexicans and all that stuff, who have these issues with the immigration laws that are trying to be enforced, and they're not able to have things done for them because they are considered to be illegals and all the other stuff. Y'all, she was like, well, I have this little space in the back of my meal that you could probably set up, because he was saying that if he could somehow get some volunteers together and he had a safe space where he could work and all this other stuff, that he could do something like that. And so when she said that, he was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And she basically was like, yeah, I'm not using it, it's vacant, I'm not using that part of my meal anymore. So y'all, Charlie doing the most. Okay, y'all, so I already told y'all what was going on with Ralph Angel. Another part of what's going on with Ralph Angel is he, since he is his own boss, he was able to meet up with the young lady that he met when he took Blue to this birthday party. And ever since then, Blue and the little girl have been friends. So they be doing the little play dates. And he likes the mama. And y'all know the mama is a prosecutor, a lawyer, or whatever, y'all. So they were talking, and I was like, Ralph Angel, please tell this woman. Ever since it seemed like they were gonna be, hanging out or whatever. I was like, Ralph Angel, please tell this woman about your history. So he was in the middle of telling her. I was like, yes, please tell her, because nobody had time. He was in the middle of telling her what it was, and she cut him off, was like, I already know, I did a background check on you. And I'm glad he didn't get mad, because I was like, oh gosh, you're finna get mad. So that could for me, that shows how he has been reformed, and he, has a handle on his anger, because I was expecting him to blow up and be like, why would you do that to me? But he didn't. And she was like, look, I ain't even gonna lie to you, I did background on you. I have a child to think of. I'm a single mom, and because of my job, I just out of habit, I did a background check on you. So he was cool with that. And so she was like, look, I know what I'm getting myself into, whatever. So I was like, girl, yes, set it off. So they seem like they're going to be an item, and I'm here for it. So as far as Darla is concerned, he ended up going and dropping Blue off. And so after they had him squared away, he was going to go somewhere and take a shower. He was like, Darla, I got to tell you something. And so he told her that Blue is in the book. And so she was like, okay, that's good. I don't understand. What could be the problem? She loves him and whatever. And so he was like, Nova is telling the whole world that Blue ain't mine. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. So she got in her feelings, of course. She became angry. And so she was like, well, is there anything in the book about me? Because about, the dark times that we had. And so he was like, I don't know. See, that's why I'm mad. Because I was like, how dare you? Because, sir, you work your own hours. You are the boss. You don't have to be out in the field. Sometimes he get out in the field with them. A lot of the time, he actually get out there with his employees and work, which is fine. It is that time of year where they start the crops and all the other stuff. I understand that. But he could have taken time when Blue at school, and every now and again, he just take a couple of minutes and read the book, do something. He could have read that book. Because it's time that he just be up and ain't nobody working, and he just at the house doing nothing because Blue sleep. Or Blue ain't there, because he don't have Blue all the time. Remember, him and Darla have an agreement where they kind of do 50-50 or whatever, despite the fact that ain't his child. Cool. He could have read that book and let her know that she was in the book. Because he don't even know if she in the book. He talking about, I don't know. I only read the part about me and Blue. And I'm like, bruh. And so she, like common sense, would tell or should tell anybody. She was like, well, to me, it wouldn't make sense for her not to put anything about what happened before Blue came here, because all that stuff is leading up to Blue's existence. Y'all, I'm tired. So, Ralph Angel, you fired for that. How dare you? Anyway, let's see. What else happened, y'all? Let me see who else. Y'all, Lord have mercy. So, the end of the last episode, Vi's ex pops up. Her ex-husband popped up. He was riding through trying to get to St. Joseph's Parish or whatever they call it, wherever they live, y'all. And he stopped at some place to get food, barbecue, and all this other stuff. And he was asking people along the way if they knew about Vi and all this other stuff. And they're like, yeah, she owns this diner and all this other stuff. And oh, y'all, I'm tired. I was like, this better not be who I think it is. And then it is. So I was like, Lord, y'all. So he done finally popped up at her diner. I be doggone, she cleaning. And she was like, all right, sir, go ahead, take a seat. I'll be with you in a minute. And he started talking. And then she looking like, what? I know that who I think it is. And then she turned around and look at him, and she just looked at him like a deer in headlights. Then she passed out. He ended up catching her. And then I was just like, y'all, David Alan Grier made me want to reach through the screen and snatch a cake in him. Because, I'm not really used to seeing him in roles like this. So it's been tearing my nerves up. Ever since they put him on the screen, I realized who he was. So I was like, I know you not finna be playing her ex-husband on here. So, y'all, I was so tired of my spirit. Y'all, he done called her. So then it went to commercial. Y'all, when it came back from commercial, Hollywood had showed up. And he was like, yeah, thank you, bruh. They had got her like a little thing of orange juice or something. And so she's coming too. And like she was all the way out of it. So he gonna tiptoe out the door. He done tiptoed out the door. I was like, if you don't get somewhere, Y'all, I was so tired of my spirit, I didn't know what to do. So anyway, y'all, this fool done tipped out the door. Hollywood don't know who it is. I'm like, bruh, you better be glad he don't know who you are. Y'all, it got to the point where it's like she was trying to say who it was, but then she was just like, I ain't got time. Can we go home? I need to go home. I don't feel good. So she done went home. Y'all, she is so spooked by this man's presence that she done went home and she is over the commode throwing up her whole entire life, y'all. Just throwing up. You would think she was pregnant. She had been throwing up something terrible. So Hollywood asked her, was she doing better? Is she feeling better and all this other stuff? Y'all, finally got to the point where she actually said who he was. And he was like, who? I know you, man. Hollywood said it all the way off. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I was like, somebody please. Y'all, the way this man acts, it's just so real, y'all. I be feeling like the situation be happening right in front of me in real life. That man be acting. Anyway, Hollywood has said it all the way off. He done said it off to the point where Vi was like, look, don't do nothing crazy, Hollywood. Don't do nothing, whatever. I don't know why. He was like, look. He politely ignored her and called the diner, and the girl who normally be up front answered the phone and was like, hey, you remember that man from earlier who had on that yellow shirt and the gray beard or whatever color beard, the bald head guy? And so she was like, yeah, I remember him. So he was like, let me know if he come back in there. As soon as you see him, let me know. He didn't pop back up in there. And so she was like, oh, okay. He hung up the phone. She was like, Hollywood, don't do nothing. He was like, look, this man that popped up for a reason. He ain't just here passing through. He came in here to start something. So Hollywood to say, I said, no, Hollywood, no. Y'all don't understand. If y'all can see my live reaction, I be in that. I be like, y'all not finna do this to me on no TV show. Them TV shows be taking me all the way through. Hollywood said he came here to start something, and I'm gonna finish it. I said, I know that's right. I swear the way it amazes me how people in Louisiana speak a lot like us, or we all somehow, I don't know if something crossed along the way. A lot of the things they say are things that we say in Alabama, and I just be looking like, what? And sometimes this stuff I ain't heard so long, I be like, oh my God, wait a minute, y'all. But anyway, y'all, Nova has been called all day by her Aunt Vi. She done set it off. And, because he was like, what you gonna do by Nova? Because I know you done read that book. And she was like, yes, I did read it. I stayed up all night and I read it. I read it all. I told her she won't answer my phone call. I told her I better see her before the sun set. Y'all, tell me why. I don't know if it was the same day or not. I can't remember. She was at the house. She had made a pile, something. She had made something. And so she was like, oh, Hollywood gonna love this. And so she get a doorbell ring or the knock on the door. She think it's Hollywood. She go to the door excited. Y'all, Jimmy Dale to set up there and set it off and popped up at the house. He was like, hey, I was wondering, I figured you still lived here. I was like, oh my gosh, how dare you. Y'all, I was so tired in my spirit. This man that popped up at the house. So he was like, why ain't you gonna let me in? I want to come in and sit down for a spell or whatever he said. Y'all, she sat there for a minute. She was like, no, I ain't gonna let you in my house. And so, y'all, eventually she let him in the house. I was like, girl, you all right? Is you all right? I know you got lupus. I know you was looping and, going through earlier, but what's going on? Why is you letting this raggedy man in the house? I guess she wanted to hear him out to see why he was really there. And she's so aggressive and she's so strong in her mind. Now y'all know Vi ain't but this small. She ain't but this small. She be acting like she a giant or she is Jurassic Park type big or something. I be looking like, girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit down. So she done let him in the house And he was like, he kept saying something about my house. He was like, yeah, my house looking nice. My house look nice. It smell the same too. Just, you got your cooking. And she was like, this is my house. She done said it all because her name is on the deed and all that. Don't nobody have time. Oh, Lord, I need for that to get off my screen. Y'all don't understand. I can't even tell y'all what just popped up on my screen. Anyway, y'all, this fool came in the house and I was like, wait a minute. Is she having a flashback in her mind thinking that this is what this man is saying, or if this is actually what is being said? This fool started going off. Was like, don't you hear me talking to you? And he tried to go off. He was like verbally abusing her. I was like, oh my gosh. She told him he better get out of her house. Y'all, Nova bust up out of nowhere because she told her she better get over there or whatever. Y'all, Nova done bust up. And so she looking confused like, Jimmy Dale, what's going on here? Y'all, he gonna say, nice to see you again. And so Vi was looking like, what you mean again? Because, you know, it sounded like it was very, very, like, recent. And it was. This heifer that sat up here and went and interviewed him for her book. And she was just like, I feel as though there are two sides to every story. So I went to get his side of the story and the stuff that he was saying. And because she actually thought that there is a such thing as redemption for some people, but there's not. There are people who will never change. There are people who are terrible, just evil, and just will never change. Like that's just the beginning and the end of that. And so she was like, well, I thought he might have changed or whatever, and he would just own up to what he'd done and that he changed and had learned from whatever. And maybe there was something else that happened, but I had to realize quickly that he hadn't changed, and I didn't put anything that he said in the book. So y'all, it got to a point where this fool was going off in the house. Nova had to sling him. Vi had to, both of them had to shove him. Y'all, oh my gosh, they just shoved this man, finally shoved him out the door. Hollywood busts up at the house. I was like, Lord have mercy. Jesus, don't nobody have time for this foolishness. Hollywood finna set it off. Y'all, Hollywood got to the house, set it all the way off. He ended up beating this man up. Vi was telling him to stop. She finally got him to stop. I believe Hollywood would have beat his face in until he died had Vi and Nova not been there. Y'all, he told him, you better get out of here and never come back. Cause that's the dumb part, y'all. I'm sorry, I left out a part. He popped up at the diner. Before all the stuff I just told you happened, he popped back up at the diner like he thought was gonna happen. And he sat up there. And when he got his phone call, he politely went up there, met up with him, and told him who he was and all that stuff. And so Jimmy Dale's sitting up there still trying to read. And it's like, really? Really? Anyway. And he told him politely, you need to leave and don't come back. Y'all, after he said what he said to him, he made sure that he left. And that's the dumb part. I'm like, bro, you did the most because you knew this man was following you. Hollywood set it all the way off and followed this man all the way out. And this fool sat up there and did the most and still came back. Okay, y'all. So y'all see I'm back at the house and I didn't finish the review. Y'all tell me why I am mad, because my notes wouldn't pop up earlier. Made it seem like I was crazy. I know good and well I did notes as I was watching and they didn't pop up. Y'all, I done did this whole video going all over the place and all of a sudden my notes have appeared and I'm like, really? Because I save stuff. I sync stuff up. It was supposed to be on my phone and it was supposed to be on my tablet, and it was on neither until this very moment. So I'm like, really, bruh? Why? Anyway, so just in case I missed something, I'm gonna go through these and just say what I'm gonna say, because I don't really want to. I mean, this was a really good episode. I don't want to leave anything out. That's why it makes me mad. I'm like, really? Anyway, as far as Nova is concerned, she had gotten a call. Like, I don't know what they call it. It was some kind of Google thing that popped up on her laptop where she was able to basically FaceTime or whatever, speak to somebody, and they told her that she got a love letter or whatever they call it. Basically, the Times are gonna do a write-up on her, and she was gonna have the information sent over to her as far as what was gonna be sent. Yeah, that was gonna be sent to her. That actually is gonna be in the write-up. So the woman was like, "Well, I'll just give you a taste of it," and it was like all good things. So Nova is gushing over that, and I was just like, wow. They actually did an interview with Nova where she was it wasn't even a panel really. It was like she was there and like a little family was there, like a daughter and other relatives were there, and they were like, well, it was basically a situation that they themselves were trying to move on from, and then she brought up how things were never unearthed in her family, and that's what the book is about, and all this other stuff. Like, I'm just like, girl, y'all, and I know I'm wrong. Like, I know I'm wrong. Don't read me. I feel like that outfit Nova had on when she did that interview was ugly because she does not have breasts. Like, we know she does not have breasts. So it's like, I've seen people who have no breasts, women, people who have been born female who have no breasts, and they know what works for their body, or somebody directed them and was like, look, you need to wear this, and it looks good on them. I don't understand what they was thinking when they put that on her. It's just like she threw some random stuff together. Y'all, I was just like, why? Like, it was just ugly in general. It did nothing for her shape, her, physique, whatever. And I was just like, and like, she's like in shape. So I'm just like, did anybody else notice that ugly outfit she had? I was not here for it. I was here for her hair. I want to make a note about her hair. I first saw her, I believe it was when she was playing on True Blood. And ever since then, I might have seen her some stuff before that, but definitely I saw her in True Blood. Every single time I've seen her hair before this show, I hated it because her hair was always looking raggedy. I don't know if it was something she was doing herself or she was actually paying somebody, but like when she was on True Blood, a lot of the times she would get somebody or whoever, whether it was her or somebody else, to do micro braids, and they were hideous to me. Like, I wish I could find some old pictures so that I can like link them in videos for y'all to see when I used to do this stuff to my hair. Like I used to do all the things. I used to do the most to my hair, but nowadays, lies. Lies. I don't do nothing that much to my hair anymore. But I used to do micro braids. I used to do all kinds of stuff. And it still makes me mad to this day when people have all this money and they could pay somebody. It ain't even gotta be no expensive African hair braider. There are people like me who were born here in the United States of America that can do all of these different hairstyles very well for a decent price. It ain't gotta be no crazy pricing. Y'all, I just can't. Stuff like that irks my soul. I'm like, you had all this money and your hair be looking total. Like, y'all go back and look. I'm serious. Like, if you don't believe me, if you didn't see her on that show, you don't know what I'm talking about, look at her hair then and look at it now. Because ever since they put her, like the first season, the way they had her locks in, I don't know who was doing them, I wasn't here for them, but now, like, it seems like it's getting better, whoever is doing it, whether it's she herself actually being the one doing it or not, because, a lot of people are into the doing it yourself type of stuff, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm the type of person, I believe in that. I'm the type of person that I always felt like most people couldn't do my hair better than I can do it myself, so I just would see something and I'd be like, I want to do that. That's how I want my hair to be. And the one time as an adult that I ventured out and let somebody do my hair at a shop, they burned my hair. They were doing Kinky Twist. They had a special because my birthday's on Valentine's Day. And I was a social worker at the time, and I did not really have time like that. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is on time. It's discounted. This will be the first time I've had Kinky Twist done in my life. So I was excited. And they told me that my hair was long and or short enough for me to do the desired length of Kinky Twist. Y'all, I went in there and she was doing my hair. I didn't see my hair in a mirror or nothing yet. Y'all, I started smelling burning hair because the woman was taking a lighter to my hair to get rid of the little, hairs that stick out from like braids and stuff that you do. Y'all, I was so tired in my spirit. It's like I was so shook. Because I was like, I know this is not what, I know this isn't happening. I know what's happening can't be happening to me. Because I had hair. You know what I'm saying? I still have hair, even though, you know, that was pre-chemical explosion. And, you know, before all this and the missing hair and the missing hair right here where it stand out and all that stuff. Y'all, it was not to my liking. Y'all, I'm sorry I took a turn for this. I live for hair, so I'm sorry. Anyway, let me see. What else happened, y'all? I already told y'all about Charlie's meeting that she had with Jacob Landry. I already told y'all about what Hollywood said. The only thing that I'm left out as far as Charlie is concerned is her son. I think last episode he came back to school and some white kids were rolling up on him and saying some stuff to him and trying to, you know, I want to say bullying, but not really. But, you know, ever since he has decided to be a part of activism and all that stuff, people have been like looking at him sideways and trying to say that he, you know, trying to make it seem like he just brand new or whatever. And he ended up punching a dude and all this other stuff, like, and then he started actually getting death threats. Keep in mind, he didn't even know he was getting death threats until a letter came in the mail and he opened it up and Kiki was at the house with him. And so he was like, you know, what should I do? And his girlfriend was like, you should call the police. And he was like, I'm not calling them. You know, given his situation or what happened before with a police officer. But yeah, he ended up taking the letter to his mama and he showed it to her. And so she said that she'll fix it. And so he was like, how you gonna fix a death threat? Y'all, it's like she took a breath and was like, what I'm gonna do is this. And she politely opened up a drawer and started pulling out these letters. He had been getting death threats since all this other stuff happened. He had even gotten death threats. He had been getting multiple death threats. And so she was trying to explain to him, look, I understand how you feel about me, especially since you've been reading that book that your Aunt Nova put out. But I am here to protect you. I am your mother. Let me do my job. So he didn't even know that while he was in Paris, that he had people following him that were protecting him because she was very much so fearful that somebody was going to try something while he was over there, because even though he didn't know about all the dangers around him, she already knew because she had been opening all his letters before that last letter that he got. So she was like, I have been taking care of it since the first letter came. So yeah, calm down. They hugged it out and I was here for that. So I was like, yay, that's good. Let's see. They showed a very brief moment of Vi going through some old stuff, and it was like in a little box, and she really couldn't even handle that moment. I was like, Lord, I hope they go more into depth, even though we can kind of guesstimate. We can understand what it mainly is about, her old life. I found it very refreshing that Ralph Angel and the woman who he's been like having these little moments with, dare I say dating, they have been discussing their exes and how co-parenting has been going. Apparently the woman's child's father is not there, he's not present, and you know, the co-parenting is non-existent and she's doing everything on her own. Ralph Angel does not have that problem, but you know, it's just a lot. Kiki was at school and she had actually been ignoring Micah since the situation happened where he punched that guy. And you know, he wanted to talk to her and everybody left so they could talk, and you know, she was just like, I don't like this Micah. You know, she doesn't like all the violence and all that stuff. So he was like, I can't promise you nothing, but I'll try. I was like, Lord have mercy. Let's see. Y'all, so basically at the end of the episode was what I told y'all about how Jimmy Dale ended up getting beat down by Hollywood. And after he got beat down, he got up and was like, look, I came here to tell you I was sorry, but now I knew I should have went with my first mind. I take it back. I ain't sorry for nothing. I ain't sorry for nothing I said. I ain't sorry for nothing I did. y'all, and walked off. Hollywood beat him down. The grass was wet, so the whole like side of his shirt, the whole back side of his shirt was muddy. And he was limping off, y'all. Oh my gosh, that episode was so good. But anyway, y'all, I'm sorry for such a long review, but I had to get both of those in. And I'm just so sorry. I really have been having a whole lot going on, and hopefully one day I'll be able to kind of give y'all bits and pieces of it, because it's kind of a lot and draining. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna try my best. I really want to get in like 2 or 3 more videos. So yeah, I'm gonna get on that. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Happy Friday. Y'all have a good weekend and be safe out there. And definitely stay cool, because it is hot. It's in the 90s here and I am tired already. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.